So I sent a message saying like, oh, I really enjoy our time together, and I hope that we can. I would love for us to be more than friends. I hope it's mutual or something like that. Smiley face, and he did not reply.
And he read it and he said nothing.
He said nothing. I hope that's on our list of things to talk about. Is silent rejection worse than like actual like spoken rejection? Hey guys, Marugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between. It's definitely TMI. Episode 27, guys. We have made it. We said none of these episodes really have...
No, but we have to celebrate. Life is about the small...
It's true. And then God knows, maybe here today, gone tomorrow.
Why would you say that?
Anyway,
why
guys.
Why go along with that?
I know, but yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for being here for episode 27. We loved all the love in our last episode. I think first dates are just like a really good conversation to have. So thank you so much, guys, for engaging with us. We appreciate you. Today, we are taking it to a different turn. But before we get into that, have you subscribed? Have you pressed that plus button on any podcast platform? Have you followed us on social media? Marugi Munyi, Lydia KM, TMI Podcast. Have you? If you answered yes to all of those questions, what did I say?
You said TMI Podcast.
TMI Podcast KE. If you've answered yes to all of those questions, please proceed. If not, pause and do that. And then you get back into the episode. Now, guys, we are starting a new year. So we're going to be starting new journeys, new business ventures, new work, new relationships, whatever it is. And we just wanted to have a conversation about the R word. Rejection. And this one comes after last week because you know how sometimes you can go on a date, like a first date, and afterwards you're telling your girls, oh my God, it was so great. It was so good. And then he says, hi, that was really nice, but I'm not keen to see you again. And you're like, what? How?
What do you mean?
What went wrong? What could I have said?
Yeah, and of course you start thinking there's something wrong with me. I obviously have an issue. I'm unlovable.
Yes, no one's gonna love me ever. And because of that, we wanted to have this conversation about rejection because rejection is a natural part of life. But how to navigate through it is actually the difference between people. Like, period. Because everyone receives rejection, but the people who are able to kind of navigate and get past that really are able to get in the next step. So how can we be more people who are able to withstand rejection, deal with it, and continue working on that same diligent level to get to where you want to be, or to try again at love, or maybe to try again at something else. It doesn't all have to be work, but we're going to talk about it in work, in relationship, in family. What else?
In childhood trauma.
It's true. In family as well, there's family rejection. So we're just going to be talking about that. Tell us your rejection stories. One time we've been rejected and how you overcame it.
Let me tell you guys something. I have only ever been rejected by a man once in my life. One time.
He talks about it.
I talk about it all the time because it was the most jarring experience. No, it wasn't that jarring, but then it did feel jarring. I feel like I don't know if it's the way I was raised or maybe it's just my personality, but I feel like I have a really confident sense of self. So I usually go into circumstances, discussions, meetings, opportunities feeling like I deserve to be here. I'm the best person to be here. And I feel like sometimes maybe you see, because in relationships, it's not really about being the best person. It's about, even no matter how best you are, how great you are, it's about somebody might not want you, even with the awesomeness that you are, somebody might not want to be with you as a person.
You're an orange, they want a banana. You're the best orange, but they want a banana.
Exactly. And me, I think at the time I was like maybe 22, 23. It was like that point where I'm just like, wow. And I felt like I was on top of the world. I was earning well. I was hot. Still am hot. And I was just like, wait, every man would want me. Which man wouldn't want me? Like, they would be crazy. Keeping in mind, I've never been dumped by anyone. No one has ever said no to me. But there was this one guy, guys. And before then, I had never shot my shot at anyone. And I've never shot since. And
you shot your shot?
I did shoot my shot. I told you.
You did not tell this story.
I did. So let me tell you about this guy. We had met in a club. Okay, no, we hadn't really met in the club. We had met like on Instagram, like on social media, and we would chat. When we would go out, we had a few mutual friends who are always around, and our vibe was really nice. It was like pleasant, you know. It wasn't like, now when I think about it, it wasn't like special, or it was just like friendliness
No
kind
more.
of thing.
You are no more decent person.
Oh my God. But I think I read more into it than I should have. Although, to be honest, I think he did lead me on a little bit. Because there was a bit of flirtation here and there. So one night, I sent a message and said, hi, I really enjoy when we spend time together. Because it would be like we have gone out as friends, but somehow at the end of the night, it's just the two of us. We don't do anything like kissing or touching or anything, but we're just chatting a lot, Yeah. So I sent a message saying like, oh, I really enjoy our time together, and I hope that we can. I would love for us to be more than friends. I hope it's mutual or something like that. Smiley face, and he did not reply. And we never spoke about it since. And that was that. So that's even worse. Silent rejection. Rejection.
Is that the one I know about?
Yes.
That's all that happened?
Yes.
Well, I don't remember that story that way.
How did I tell it?
I thought that there was actually a vibe between you two, and then it's you wanted it to escalate.
Be more, yeah.
And then, so it wasn't like a vibe of you two actually seeing each other.
No, it wasn't. It was more of like we're getting there, but now that's it, exactly.
And he read it and he said nothing.
He said nothing. I hope that's on our list of things to talk about. Is silent rejection worse than actual spoken rejection?
I think silent rejection is
the
for
worst.
The rodents.
I know, it's you couldn't even just tell
seriously.
me thanks, but I don't, because I thought we were friends.
It's either you think you're that special, you don't think I'll be able to handle your no, or you want to leave the door open. Fragile.
Yeah,
I won't be able to handle it. Both ways is insulting.
I honestly felt shattered because I was just is it that I didn't I don't know, what is it about the situation that maybe put him off? Does he want to? And then of course at that point you're telling yourself, oh, maybe he does want to be with me, but he didn't know how to say it. Of course that's not the reason.
It's
that's
never.
Not it. Of course it's not that.
I feel like girls should really watch. He's really not that into you, because we make so many excuses when someone is telling you, I don't want to be here.
Exactly.
Maybe he
or
likes
maybe he
persistence,
the text.
or maybe he does, or
maybe he didn't have data.
He saw, and then post on Instagram, so he saw it. Yeah. I'm sorry. So how did you get past that?
Just time, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is going to be my number one of how to deal with rejection. It's just time, because things.
Time. Are you there yet? Are you past it yet? Are you sure?
I would say I am.
Yeah. Okay, she's working through things.
But honestly, for rejection, I feel like things which feel bad are meant to feel bad. And it doesn't matter which way you look at it. Even if you tell yourself any kind of explanation,
it's supposed to feel
being
bad.
Rejected feels bad. No matter what. And the only thing that for me helped me get over it is time and not seeing that person.
Yeah.
Because not being in the presence of that person just made me they're just another person, whatever.
Yeah. Because when you see them, you just start projecting all the stuff you have in your head.
Yeah.
All right. So that's one type of rejection. I think another type of rejection which I've dealt with have been through my journey when I was in media. So when I got here in 2016, I wanted to do law school, and I've told this story before.
When you say when I got here, this person who's watching might not know what you're referring to.
In 2016, I relocated from England, where I was raised, and then I came back, and I wanted to do law school initially because my background is in law, and that's actually really my genuine intention why I came. And then I just thought, maybe not. And when I started just thinking about what career I wanted to get into, I landed in media as far as the idea of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a talk show host. And so between the decision of this is what I want to do and actually landing a job in media in this completely different new country that I didn't even know anything about, was rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. Actually, I don't know if it's, I don't like to think of the energy that you just have to kind of pay your dues by just hearing so many no's, because not everyone's story is like that. Some people are just first audition, boom, that's a superstar, you've got an Oscar. Some people are like that, but mine was not like that. So I remember there's a time when I went to a particular TV station where they were interviewing for newscasters. And so I was so excited. This was my first audition, and my auntie had told me about it. And it turned out to be an open call, which was a surprise to me.
You thought it was you've been given an in?
No, I just thought it was a secret thing no one knew about. I got there so early.
Everyone, the whole of Nairobi was present.
I was literally there pretty much all day.
Okay.
Anyway, I queued down, and it's time to go to the audition. And the people who are auditioning are the people who actually work on TV. So that was intimidating on a different level, because this is going to be your co-star or whatever. So we just talking, and he's just interviewing me and all of these things, and he's just so since this is a Kenyan country and stuff, and
Kenyan country.
I mean, this is Kenyan, and most people are Kenyan. Kenyan. They were just like, so how do you think you're going to be able to handle with the fact that you don't sound like everyone, right? And the person who was going to replace was not even fully racially black, so they were like even a different ethnicity. They had a much stronger accent, and literally it took me back so much. But now I realize that these people already know who they want to hire. They just do an open call because some of the companies are public or whatever, to just make it seem like they tried. So then I can't remember exactly what I said. I actually can't remember. Actually, I think I said something along the lines of but it's not like the accent is like Russian, which makes it difficult to articulate in English. It's from England. So I think I would be more eloquent, something like that. I said an answer. Needless to say, I didn't get it.
It does, okay, depending on how they asked it, it does sound like it would be a valid question. But if they asked it more from the side of, do you feel like as a challenge that would occur in work, is like, do you feel like some people might feel they can't understand you properly as you're speaking, if that's what they meant. If I was replacing
Betty Charlo,
okay,
then that's fine.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
It would make sense, because I'll just be
girl
like,
next door kind of thing.
If it was like, oh, okay,
Understood,
it makes sense that, what they want is somebody who is like more who understands more in Kenyan culture, Swahili, whatever. I would get it. But the person who I was replacing was
barely black.
Barely. Honestly. And so I was just like, wait, I think it's gonna be alright. Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went after that, because it was the first audition, now I thought that was the standard. That's the mountain I will have to climb everywhere I go. And the rejection felt different because I eventually saw who was chosen and stuff, and it was somebody who was like, I guess
black.
Kenyan, whatever. And it stayed with me in the back of my mind that what I actually thought might be an asset is actually problematic, So it kind of, it got me having a bit of an insecurity about putting that as my foot forward, because I figured now it's a problem everywhere, which turned out to be completely not
Did you
true.
start trying to have a more Kenyanized accent?
What do you mean?
You weren't even speaking in Kikuyu in the interview. You're speaking.
What? me, I will be talking like
We get it.
No, I didn't, but I think the confidence I had initially to just kind of tell my story about my background and anything like that, because I thought it was an asset, was not the case at all. And that was just one of them. Then there was like all the auditions about for going to act and trying out TV shows. I mean, I have gone to auditions outside of this county, only to go there and see that it is some students with a camera.
No. And those are the ones who can really come up with the best ad for social media, so which you really look like, it was like, wow. Yeah. Right? Oh, so you've been through it.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I ask, for like auditioning and things like that, because you don't really get an outright like, no, we are not hiring you. It's more of they choose someone else. So you discover. Is that like, do you feel like that's better than them actually calling you to tell you, oh, we did not hire you for this role because we felt like you did not have, clean knees or whatever. I don't know, like
no, funny enough, I think it's worse because a rejection is closure too. A definite no, as painful as it is, it's an end. It's like being ghosted. It's just it tails the rejection longer because you're anticipating. You're like, is it that they took long? Yeah. Will it happen? And then you probably forget about it, and then you switch on your TV. Oh, right, I've been rejected. So you will go through it through that period as well as when you actually do discover who they got.
So right.
So it's more prolonged for sure.
I think so.
Yeah. So for rejection, what I learned is that I'm not going for any situation to get the thing. I am going to showcase my talent. And when I switched why I'm going to auditions. It made me feel so different because I was like, every interview I go, I'm better than the other one. So it just made me feel like I'm practicing for the job I'm going to eventually land. And that's kind of what happened. I perfected myself over and over again. I got more confident. When I walked into rooms, I wasn't as scared. I wasn't as nervous.
Because you're not as tied to the outcome, because already being there is your outcome.
Is the gift.
Is the gift.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I
mean, that really makes sense. Even for people who are going on first dates, you should have said this last episode.
Oh, right.
It's like you're not going there now. You're interviewing for marriage. Yeah. It's just like you're going there to meet new people. And like either way, you have met someone new, and either way you've been enriched somehow.
It's true. So that's why I started doing it. You go, you meet your blessings halfway by doing your 50%, which is showing up and doing your best, and you leave the rest.
Wow. Well, that gives us some context as to what we're referring to when we say rejection. The work kind of rejection, you've gone to interview and you didn't get the job, or you went out with this guy and he ghosted you. That's rejection.
God,
or I mean anything. It really
there's family rejection as well.
Rejection. Your dad left you guys when you guys were kids.
It's hard not to take that as rejection, whether you like it or not. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Now, rejection, everyone has different ways of dealing it. You said that it's time.
For me, I feel I feel like it's time, because I feel like I'm unlike you, who is like, okay, you were able to be like, okay, just going and being part of this thing is part of the outcome for you. For me, I am really, really tied to getting the thing. For feeling like I have been the chosen one. I'm the one who has achieved the thing. I feel validated by that. So when I don't get it, when I don't achieve that thing, I really find it hard to let go. In fact, I become like almost obsessed with how can I now find a way to sort of like get that same outcome without going through that same path, kind of like cheat the system. So that it can be like, so you see, I already got it. I got it even if you didn't want to give it to me and you refused to give it to me, I've still got it somehow, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to learn. In this episode, I'm here to learn. I can't say.
And I think that's completely normal. Like, it doesn't feel good to be like, I think I deserve this. I think I'm really good at it. And someone tells you, no.
You're not.
I mean, that doesn't feel good to anyone.
It doesn't,
so I get exactly what you're saying. But I think it's because of being rejected so much more consistently. Whereas maybe you, like, the job you get is like you're there for like 2-3 years. The next one you get is another 3.
I actually don't think I've experienced that much rejection in my life. And maybe that's why the one time when it happens, it's like, what? You know, kind of even with work. I for some reason when I went to study in South Africa for my postgrad, and when I came back, I was told like, oh my God, you know, people come from abroad and they struggle to find a job and whatever, and like, oh, you should apply to like 100 different places so you can get one. When I got back, I applied to one job, and I got that job, and that was it. And since then, all my other jobs, I've been headhunted for those jobs. I haven't applied for any. Like, and then the social media, it's like I created this job for myself. So it's not really, like, I feel like I haven't really gone through that much rejection. Recently, though, I went through a rejection for a work rejection. I talked about this on my platform. Remember, Nancy? Sob, of this brand that I was supposed to work with. Then I got COVID, and then they dropped me from the campaign. And that felt really bad. I was like, okay, I have all these other campaigns, but this one feels really bad because they have dropped me for something which was even beyond my control, you know, kind of thing. So I think, because of the fact that they are so isolated, maybe that's why I feel like I don't have experience in rejection. You know?
That year, because I think I confirmed that I wanted to do media in 2017. And so it was like pretty much auditioning all 2017. I was doing ads, so I was getting yeses too, but there was still not the job that I was looking for. So 2018.
Because you did do some good work in that period.
Right? I was still getting, it wasn't like, you know, just a year of no, but not the job I was looking for. So 2018, January, I said, if I don't have a job by April, I literally said April.
You're really a timeline. You're really
because guess what? I feel like that gives me like vigor, you know. And
but what happens if you get to that place and then you don't,
never happened? Because I feel like energetically speaking, I am really so drawn to having this timeline. So 2018 April is when it happened, and as I said, because of getting so many so often, you learn. You just, it's anything, you have experience with this, so you just kind of like, okay, no, this is nothing to do with me. Maybe even with auditions for ads, sometimes they are looking for a tall, light-skinned woman. Now what can I do?
What can you do?
Nothing.
One thing I feel like Lydia has down to a T is the fact that you are able to like the whole aspect of learning from that experience. I feel like you do that really well. Like even if something doesn't go your way, you're like, you've learned from it, kind of thing. I feel a lot of people are not able to do that because they dwell in the thing of like, I am not good enough. So it feels like however you are as a person, just you as Lydia, you're not good enough, as opposed to thinking about Lydia of today. Lydia of right now is not good enough, but maybe Lydia of 3 months from now
could be
good enough.
I actually think that learning from your mistakes or from your rejections is what makes them worth it. I never want to be telling a story, oh guys, there's a time when I wanted to do this and I was just rejected forever, so I quit. So, but when I tell myself that me learning from it and me making it work for me makes it worth it, it now feels like an experience worth going through. Because by the way, me wasted experiences, I think, is probably my biggest fear.
Exactly.
Like I went through there for what? Oh, nothing. No, I don't like that. I like to pick the gold from any situation which is negative.
I think the worst kind of rejection, without a doubt, is probably being ghosted by a guy. And we have, there was a TMI talk that actually I saw in our DMs of a babe who said she had been dating this guy for 2.5 for long, 2.5 years or something. Then he just ghosted. And I was like,
I was shocked at that.
I was like, first of all, we are shocked that happens at all, but that is like a really painful form of rejection. And then it makes you really start questioning, like, okay, what happened? Did something happen?
No, for me, I don't know. That's everyone's
that's like he must have been killed.
But what? That's a big mountain to climb, because that's no closure. That's nothing.
Have you ever been ghosted?
I'm trying to think about being ghosted. Maybe like from like just like a fling
like
person.
A fling.
Yeah, not anybody who I even remember. Because I can't remember any experience where was being ghosted.
If you're watching this or listening to this and you've ever been ghosted, please tell us the story. We want to know.
Please. Yeah, I've never been ghosted, and I also am not a ghoster. Like the conversation just seems like it's drifting. Like you just not talking as much. I just let it.
You let it
if me as well, I don't want the same thing.
Agreed.
But as in someone just be like, oh hi, how are you? Hi, what's going on? You okay? I'm just wondering, and then I'm just ignoring them.
Yeah.
I don't have the heart for that.
Better
you
guys
block. Are strong.
Better you block.
Better
when you block is better, because then you won't even get the message to begin with.
Yeah, I've never had a reason to treat anyone like that.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, no.
You're a nice person.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why?
So many, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's because you're not unable to explain why.
Yeah, sometimes, all the time.
Like,
every single time.
It's your height.
I don't exactly. The sex was bad, and now I would not like exactly. And the thing is that if someone comes to ask me why, I have to tell the truth. If I'm not gonna be able to tell the truth, that's it. I'm ending it.
Yeah,
I'm ghosting.
Because you don't want to.
Because you don't want to. It's like which one feels worse?
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to share with you guys some of the ways which you can deal with rejection, so that it can be a matter of, okay, this really sucks. And as we said, rejection is like almost inevitable, especially in situations where you're trying out new things more often. Like now this year, if you're doing the new year, new me, new boyfriend, new job, new career, new house,
new hairstyle,
everything, you might face some because you're starting something new.
Yeah.
So here are some of the things we can do is be honest. Coping well with rejection involves working two things: how you feel and what you think. So feeling bad is completely fine. Be honest with yourself. Don't be like, it's fine. Oh, please.
It feels bad. It feels bad when you are hoping for this job and you didn't get it, or when you wanted this guy and he didn't want you back. That feels bad.
Yes. Yeah. So being honest is, I feel like crap and this hurts. I'm feeling like I wasn't validated the way that I wanted to. I really wanted this job. I'm thinking about all the ways that could have helped me financially, etc. And then you feel that, and then now it's time to move on. So that's the difference. How you feel, boom, deal with that. And then how you think, we'll switch that again with some of the things that we're saying now. Giving it time. Practicing to learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. And what you think should be honest as well, because Lita is always telling me, for example, is it true or is it a story you've told yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't hire you from the job, and maybe even they have told you we didn't hire you because this other person had 2 years more experience than you. To you, it's to say that you don't deserve that kind of a good job. In fact, you're probably never gonna get a job ever.
That's why he left.
That's why he left you. And in fact, you don't even deserve anything nice in this. That's what you've told yourself.
Yes,
but what the truth is that this person just had 2 years more experience than you. It means it's nothing more than that. It's nothing to do with, it's not a comment on your worthiness of anything, or worthiness of good things, or worthiness of love, or worthiness of whatever. So tell yourself the things which are true. Ask yourself, is it true, or is this just a story I've told myself?
Yeah. Another thing is to examine your thoughts. I guess actually
this is the same
with that. The other one is being positive. That's annoying when somebody has...
Shut up. Ugh. So he ghosted me. We've been dating 3 years. He ghosted me, and you come and tell me be positive.
Be positive. Leave me. Let's light a candle. Let the house smell well.
No.
Also, be sometimes I wonder what that does when you're feeling emotionally bad.
No,
in
but
fact,
actually,
I hate the light of candles when I'm angry and hurt. Like, why are you lighting like this?
Like, you can just be joyful and just bright.
Yeah.
No, but I get what they're saying. It's like sometimes, you see how like today, we've had many challenges in our shooting. We could have just been like, oh my God. But we choose, you have to, sometimes in life, you just have to try. Yeah. You have to try and see the good and start thinking, okay, he's ghosted you. But you know what? At least even he used to shit in the morning and he used to smell so bad in your house. Now, at least in the morning, you won't have the smell of shit in your house.
Majority of the time, like, I'm not saying that this lady, that might have been the scenario, but when I think about it, if somebody has the gall, the capability to ghost me, I didn't see anything, so it was a perfect relationship. But until 2.5 years. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he's dead.
No. Or maybe he's been trying to break up with you for a while and you didn't even notice. Yeah, and you know the thing is, men are so exactly. He's been the same like this for the 2.5 years. So you didn't even notice when there was a shift.
The small changes.
Yeah, you know we'll notice when you're upset because she's not shouting at 10 decibels. I mean per minute.
Yeah, men are a bit more.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, as you're saying, stay positive. Yeah. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
I know.
And eventually, honestly, if nothing else changes, time moves. And that definitely helps.
Yeah. I always see on Instagram people always saying something like, "Ati, God will close a door. God has closed the door because so that you can go through another one."
Sometimes it's a small window. He's opening a smaller one. I know. Sometimes it's a good man who has walked out, so that the narcissist can come in.
But I honestly I feel like in my life, every single time I felt really bad about a rejection, it's something better came.
It made so much sense.
So it made so much sense later on. Yeah, it did. Not to say, this is not the prosperity gospel we preach here. We don't preach prosperity gospel. We don't. Maybe your life will suck after that. Maybe the rejection will be the beginning of the end of your life. We don't know. But I feel like hope is the only reason why we as human beings keep doing the things that we are doing. Like, it's the reason why we wake up every day. You always hope that your life is going to be better. So just hold on to that hope, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like that is,
because otherwise
that's what keeps you going in any situation. Another thing is that to keep things into perspective. Once now you've kind of wallowed, try and go back to the drawing board. Me specifically, there's something which I do. It's, what about that did I think went well? Maybe the interview or whatever, or even the relationships. What went well? What didn't go well? What do I want to improve on in the future? Arm yourself with the things which from there didn't look that great. If you've been ghosted, sometimes is read through and see what in between the lines might have been missing. Maybe there's something, maybe there isn't. Maybe what the lesson you're supposed to learn there is that people ghost you and that's okay. You know, but go back into learning what is good about me in this scenario. What could I do better? How could I armor myself to move on to the next step? That's one of the things that helps me the most. I guess so.
I think from a work perspective, it's usually, and this goes back to what I was saying, is it better when you're told that you have, when you're given the rejection as words, or if you're given the rejection as like, it's just silent. I feel like when there are words, it's better, because at least if they tell you, you know, I didn't pick you because of this and this and this, is better, because then you're able to be like, feedback. Exactly. But when you don't, then you just have to kind of like, I don't know, what you call it, introspection. It's just introspection, and just be able to ask yourself, like, what do I think went wrong? What do I think I could have done better?
Yeah, and all, you know,
and you might never know.
You might never know, but I think the spirit of practicing, the spirit of doing something over and over again to try and perfect it, sometimes it's just what happens. It's just like, I feel like who I am now, because of everything I've been through in other relationships, is like has perfected me-ish for a right one. So it's going through them to get the little gems that you need for the right one.
Actually, there's something else I watched on TLC. Did you watch TLC?
No.
Oh, it's such an awesome channel. You should watch it. Anyway, this lady who was, I think they had been married with this. It was actually, no, they were not married. They were dating for like a really long time, like 11 years. They didn't have kids, but they had like 2 pets together. This guy went for a walk one day and never came back. And he just went.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do that. Especially like what's a middle-aged British man.
I know. And I was like, he just went.
Yeah.
And then he's gone.
And he's missing. You know, they usually have planned day that it comes off like they've been missing.
But really it's not.
Yeah.
Can you really be that afraid of saying that you want to break up?
No, they're still there. And then the police are telling you after this time has lapsed, they're dead. So it's like, do I mourn them?
Do I want the relationship?
Yeah, and you know, most people who go missing want to go missing.
Yeah.
Bar obviously where there's like foul play.
Yeah.
A lot of missing people, they want to go missing.
Yeah. because they don't want to have to pay their debts. They don't have to break up with you in real life.
I know, and they're just feeling so alone about it. Well, yeah, you're saying you haven't had much whatever in rejection.
Yeah,
another thing which I did is in a situation where I have a connect, and you might or you might not, you have a connect in someone who's in around the business you want to get into, you go and ask for feedback, because like sometimes you won't get the opportunity to get feedback. I used to try and get feedback from people who are more experienced in that field. Like if there's a presenter I know, there's a radio host who I know, I'll just be like, okay, so the way I formulated myself is in this way. Like what about that do you think was positive or do you think was negative? And majority of the time they'll give you feedback. Maybe it's completely incorrect, but it makes you feel like, at least I have received this from this person and now I know what to work on in the future. Yeah. And I do that even with you all the time about my content. I would just come to it, just be like, not of rejection, but I'm the person who, if I know someone who's more experienced in what I want to do, I'm constantly in their ear. Like, what can I do better? What do you think is working here? What do you think I could improve on?
Yeah, it's a little annoying actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You thought it?
I thought it.
Sorry. Yeah, I do that all the time. I think that's something which has helped me be able to grow and not be in my head. Because sometimes you think you're so good, but maybe you're not.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of used to do that earlier on when I was a content creator, and then I stopped doing it. But I felt like I stopped doing it intentionally because I realized everyone's journey is so different. So unless it's something which is like a very general thing, theirs is not going to be the same as mine. And then I might end up going in this direction just because they said that that's what worked for them, and now I might never discover this whole other.
And that's something which I told you, which I've learned even recently, because I took so much on, and every content creator is just kind of somehow different. No matter what we are doing the same, there's something different. So, but a lot of the feedback which you gave me can be applied generally. You know, it was something like, how do you connect well with your audience? Being more engaging on stories, being consistent, all of these things which I could easily take on and be like, these worked and that's going to work, period. You know, so if you have people around you, or even if it's something like act in front of the people around you, get more into the practice.
Get better, exactly. So next time you're chosen and not rejected. I think the whole topic of being rejected by your father as a child is a whole topic on its own, babe.
Yeah, that's a different topic on its own for sure.
I think that's a whole other, that one's like on trauma. In fact, we need to have an episode on trauma.
I think we should.
I feel like that's a whole episode on its own.
Yeah, I think we should do that for sure. That's different. That changes everything about you. But as we learned, we were talking about it the other day, childhood trauma also bears some positive traits, not as, like, we're not saying it's a gift and it's great, but it's more of the things which have come out of survival. For example, for me, I was not an extrovert. I was not born an extrovert at all. But my extrovertedness came because I had to deal with things at a young age where were too emotionally big for me. So I moved outward to protect myself, and here we are. Moshene is
being able
my
to
business.
deal with rejection, being able to deal with rejection. I have one last question about rejection. You know how we've said there's the silent versus the spoken out rejection. Do you think it's wise for somebody to go seeking the reason for rejection from the person or the institution or whatever that rejected them? So for example, this guy says that you guys meet, you have a date, whatever, you have sex, and you think it's going to become something else, but he never calls you after that. And then you meet him someday in a club. Do you think it's wise to now and go and be like, I just wanted to know, why didn't you ever call me back?
Yeah, I'm pretty kind of confrontational, so I would do it. But but if you don't want
your pride would allow you.
Yeah, what?
Oh.
Yeah, but at that time, if I'm there asking, I don't care. I won't be at the asking. Ooh,
never.
Don't catch me dead in the streets. Don't dare catch me dead doing that. I'm shaking in my voice. Like, because
I just wanted to know.
And now,
what was wrong? Is it because I did shave
my
pussy?
It could never. But at that point, I'm just coming up to you like, oh, hey, by this time I feel like I'm a bad bitch. I probably moved on, looking great, feeling great. So I'll be asking, oh, by the way, like, how come you didn't call me? So whatever he says, truth or not, I really don't care. But it's good to know, because sometimes it might be something which I've always thought it was great. Like somebody maybe tells me, if you're not aware, you do have some odor.
And now it's 3 years later. How is this going to help you?
No, how is it going to help you? Maybe I still have an odor.
Oh.
Do you understand? Maybe it could be something that I'm so oblivious of, because we're human beings. No matter how self-aware you are, you have some blind spots. You know, maybe I made like a really rude joke.
Me personally, I would never go and ask, because I would never want this person to think that I'm still thinking about it or still thinking about them. I feel like if it comes up in conversation, I would take it, but I would never actually ask, because imagine it taking you, but especially depending on how badly it felt when they rejected you. If it was just like whatever,
whatever is
if it's those deep ones,
or like going back to an ex, why did you leave?
Why did you leave me? No, we're not doing that.
You know, like if there's what's appropriate or not, because some things are also really loaded. Because 2-year relationship, it just went like now that ghosting one. If she saw him one day, she should ask.
Should she?
You think?
After she's healed?
Okay, if she's healed, I don't know.
I
probably feel like I would. I'm that person.
I feel like the best.
And also sometimes because I'm really straightforward, I like when people are really they feel awkward that I just asked. And and then
you see them sitting in their discomfort.
Yeah,
you're like,
I like that.
So
let's go. I was also uncomfortable when you ghosted me.
Let's now do it. She loves that.
She loves dead in the eye.
Tell us. Not even blinking. Not even blinking.
Don't blink in the streets. I like that personally.
Okay, but I think it should be more of like a take it as it comes. If you have the opportunity to seek the reason,
don't stop
for the rejection.
Do it. Reasons.
But exactly.
Yeah, and guys, rejection, as we said, that might be part of your year. We just want you to be able to learn and pick it up. And also, we are learning. It's not like we are absolutely perfect. So we are wishing you that rejection will not know you this year.
It will not be your
You will only have acceptance letters in this year. But if not, you have this video to learn what you can do about it, pick yourself back up and proceed on. And if we haven't talked about a particular scenario that's actually bothering you personally about a rejection, please feel free to DM us on our TMI podcast page, TMI Podcast KE, and we can address that as a personal dilemma, just in case we haven't touched on this episode.
Absolutely. I feel like the people who are able to get more done in life are people who are able to take a rejection and just be like, okay, it's just one more no. Let's keep going.
For sure. Instead of sitting and dwelling for so long.
Exactly. We'd love to hear your rejection stories as well. Well, maybe it doesn't have to be a whole rejection story, but just tell us maybe one memorable thing that you remember about a rejection that you've experienced, and maybe how you overcame it as well. You can DM us on Instagram, or you can comment on our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. So we are back with one of our favorite segments, my personal favorite segment on TMI, which is TMI Talk, guys. It's where we basically answer one of the questions that you guys have sent us. Some people always send us a DM on Instagram, TMI Podcast KE, in case you're not already following us, of like a life issue that they are dealing with. More often than not, it's a relationship struggle, and that's what someone has sent us today. So we're going to help her answer as big sisters. We said we stopped saying big sisters, by the way.
Can we be
just
more
like
wiser sisters?
Or even just like sisters. How about just sisters?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to like larger sisters.
Extra large. Why? We're just normal sisters. Anyway, so she says, hi, I need big sisters counsel on something. I've been dating a gorgeous human who is straightforward on his intentions of a long-time commitment. I am struggling with insecurities though, from my own past and from his too. He previously used to date multiple women at the same time. However, he has been clear that he is faithful with me and he has done nothing to break my trust since we started dating. When I communicate my struggles with being insecure, he gets angry and feels like his efforts have been for nothing and that I don't trust him, despite him not having done anything to break my trust. I want to be okay. I want to not be afraid. Do I need professional help to overcome the insecurities? Is it possible to trust someone and love them and still be insecure? P.S. My whole 26 years have been hell, hence my insecurities. Others go back as far as childhood traumas. I am constantly learning and unlearning. Accepting that I am worthy of love hasn't been easy.
I'm not frowning on anybody else's dilemmas, but that is a dilemma.
I love that dilemma.
That's a dilemma.
Yes.
That's a genuine... You are at two places, both not even a fault, but then how do you move forward? That is like a really solid dilemma.
I love how self-aware you are. The fact that she knows she has the childhood traumas. You know exactly where you are. I know. The words Lydia loves, learning and unlearning. Woo! She's wet.
You got me.
Worthy of love. Orgasm. There we are.
Done. You had me at hello, babe.
You
had me at hello. Funny enough, this is something which I've struggled with personally. Now, this is something which maybe might be because of the way my relationship started, which was like from a situationship into a relationship. And things are messy in situationships, period. And you take, but at that time, you're just thinking, okay, it's just messy now. It's not like this person is ever going to be my man or whatever. And then they are.
Now,
so then you guys carry all the shit from, why was I trying to?
Yeah.
Oops.
Now you don't want to curse.
All the shit that you did experience from before. That aside, because at that time, there's not much commitment. It's almost like everything's forgiven. If somebody has shared with you their past, and in their past, they have been somebody who is cheating, or they have like really hurt someone pretty big, it is difficult to trust someone. It is, period. Like, only because one of the ways which we have been taught as women, the reason why apparently we are getting it wrong is that we think we are special. We think that this time he's not gonna do it to you. You think that he's changed for you. You hear people saying that so much when you are eventually cheated on by somebody who has a track record of cheating, right? So then now we are looking more into, maybe I'm not then. So then maybe that means he is going to always be this person. But does that mean that nobody ever changes? So I can see where it's like, which is the narrative that we're supposed to go on,
I agree,
So the personal insecurities, what you think is about not trusting him, it's about trusting yourself. I have learned that one of the problems which I have personally is being able to trust my own decision making, because heartbreak usually comes from your decision. You decided to trust somebody who turned out to be a completely different person. So now it's just like you have seen the color blue all your life and you were told it's red. So then now the next time I see blue, is it blue or is it red? And that is what actually harms somebody so much after they have been through things, the lack of trust in yourself. So it's not your guy you're finding difficult to trust, it's more of you trusting your decision. Because as far as you're telling us, he hasn't done anything. And what his past was his past, the same as yours. So it's like people can get new leaves, but it's because you don't know, you can't confirm if he's right.
Is it a red flag that he gets angry when she's voicing her insecurities? Because I feel like I can understand somebody getting frustrated.
Is a lot.
Frustrated is another thing, but angry. Angry seems like a red flag to me, to be honest.
I personally feel like if it's like the first 5, 6, 7 conversations, it might be like, okay, I've discussed this. Okay, I've said to you, babe, I've affirmed you. But I think eventually it does get frustrating. Agreed. And if somebody does get angry, I think it's just an expression of like, what else can I do? What else can I do? And I've personally put my man through this kind of scenario in a matter of, it's like, this has happened. We are past it apparently. But because every time in my head, I'm like, okay, but are you sure? Because last time, were you sure? But that you were sure. But look what happened. So how do you know this sure is the real sure?
But what the fake sure? Exactly. I completely appreciate the fact that you know that you realize that the reason why you're being uncomfortable is your own insecurity and your past and nothing about him. So I feel like you, in order to perhaps not put as much pressure on your current relationship, if you say that this person, she described him as a gorgeous human. Gorgeous human.
I love that.
I know, right? So sweet. I feel like if that's the case, I would say you need to find a way, perhaps through professional help, through therapy maybe, find a way to deal with those insecurities on your own, because they are your own insecurities. Sometimes I feel like they are not part of the relationship. And I feel like
it's a personal relationship.
It's a personal relationship and it's your own journey. I feel like you should take that probably in therapy so that you don't end up overloading this person. Because I can get that kind of frustration, honestly. It's like, are we going to keep having the same conversation 28,000 times?
100%.
And I feel like through therapy, if you find that it's improving, great. If you find that it's not improving, maybe you need to not be dating now, dare I say, because I feel like
you need some room sometimes.
Sometimes you need some room, because I feel like if you're not able to even trust somebody who is constantly showing you that they are trustworthy, then maybe you need to take some time to work on yourself, so that when you come into a relationship, you're bringing your best self, not your insecure, fighting kind of like self.
And the benefit actually of being in a relationship and working on your insecurities is that you have people in your relationships are only mirrors of your stuff. So you have a constant mirror. So it's scary and it's a lot sometimes, but it's also, it can actually increase you're kind of healing because you're constantly seeing, this is what you need to work on. Oh, this is what you need to work on, you know? I personally have been more on a self-healing side than therapy, but I have done therapy before. So you can still do that. There's things you can do in your daily life to start improving the relationship you have with yourself, the trust you have in yourself, you know, keeping your word, little things like that you can find to start telling yourself, I trust in your decision making. I trust that what I'm seeing is true, because that's really what you're scared of it not being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We hope we've helped you, darling.
We hope so.
And
But
everyone else, every other in-betweener, please take a lesson from this TMI talk. This is how we expect you to be writing. If you're writing to us and say, hey guys, I'm dating this amazing guy, but he beats me,
he's married,
he's married and all this. What should I do? We're not doing that in 2022.
No, we're not. In 2022, we are dealing with
real
life.
dilemmas.
I have seen where my fault is. I have seen what the solution is. But there's a problem. There's a way I'm struggling to navigate. Those are the ones. But thank you for sharing your issues with us, guys. We don't take it for granted, by the way, that you trust us with that. It's like we are sisters. We're not big sisters. We're just sisters. Just sisters. So feel free to DM us on our individual pages, Lydia KM, Murigi Mui, or on TMI Podcast KE. And that brings us to the end of this episode, guys. We really hope that you've enjoyed it. I've actually really enjoyed this conversation. Yeah, this was fun. Yeah. And I feel like it reminded me, even in certain scenarios in my life now, that, okay.
Yeah, that you've actually come I wouldn't say even the conversation was fun. I would just say it was eye-opening. It was good. It was like...
Good. It
was exactly. Actually, sometimes it's really nice to look back at times when you've been rejected and think of where you are now and just be like, wow,
lol,
LOL, what? Yeah, we really hope that you have situations where you're able to look back and be like, I'm at a better place now. And we're really looking forward to hearing your feedback on this episode. Thank you for making it to the end. We love you so much. We appreciate you so much. Make sure that you are subscribed and you have tapped the notification bell. It costs you literally nothing to subscribe, and it really helps us. So we'd love it if you do that. We would love it if you did that.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for this, for being here for this episode. We have another exciting episode for you next week. So if you want to always know that our episode has landed, which is Wednesday at 12 p.m., please subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, please put the notification bell below so you can know the second that we post. And our premiere, again, we always tell you, you guys are the OGs. So see you guys next week, Wednesday at 12.
See you guys. Bye.